I'm at the airport waiting for the Ryanair flight, or Riot Air as it's known, and I booked it and we're flying light. So I'm not paying for a bag, although they've reminded me 300 times between the time I booked it and my arrival here. Are you sure you don't want a bag? Are you sure? If you don't have a bag and you get there and you're oversized, there'll be a big fine. Are you sure you don't want a bag? No, I don't want a bag. So I bought my new bag. I've made sure it's exactly the right size. It's not overpacked because it's cheaper. It's actually cheaper to get to the UK and buy some more pants and socks than it is to take them over. Or the other option, of course, is you can employ somebody to sit next to you wearing all your clothes, and you pay 20 or 30 quid for their flight, which is still cheaper than taking a bag. So I could take someone on dressed up like mini me with all my gear on and all my pants and socks rammed in the coat pocket, and they could sit next to me, but it's still cheaper than taking a bag. So let me just show you what I've got. Here it is, 40 by 30 by 20, and it's quite good actually. How much do they cost us, these bags? $16.99 in Carrefour. Yeah, and they're really good. So I'm hoping it'll do more than 1 or 2 flights, but it goes under seat and it's exactly the Ryanair size. I guess though, this is how they make their money. They do the cheap seat in order to get you in, and then they keep offering you everything on top of that. You know, do you want to sit together? Yeah, that'll cost you 15 quid each. Do you want to take a bag? That's another 40 quid. You sure that's big enough? Do you want to put one in the hold? That's 60 quid or whatever it costs. So I'm not moaning. Anyway, so I'm at the airport. We're going back for a week. New grandson and all. So basically, Ryanair was the best option. We like actually flying late now because it's really quiet here. Lovely and quiet at the airport. No hustle and bustle, nothing. The passport queue, there was nobody in it except us. And now we're just having a cup of coffee and waiting patiently on the hard seats. So when I get to Britain, I'll carry on with this and let you know how the flight was. But it does say on the Ryanair app you can order to seat, so you can order a cup of coffee and get it delivered. And it's probably, if you haven't got a bag, it's probably 50 quid for a coffee. Anyway, see what happens. Catch you on the other side. Bye for now. Bye. Well, hello and welcome to Retired in Spain. I'm at the Travel Lodge in Bromsgrove. We came in at the weekend. So I'm just going to tell you about my experiences so far of coming back to the UK. So we arrived in at Birmingham. Not bad at all. We went over, stayed in a hotel there until the next day when we went to pick the hire car up. That's when the fun begins, isn't it? So you go to pick the hire car up and they say, would you like the full insurance? And you say, no, I've already taken out an insurance with, I can't remember whether it was with Ryanair or Booking.com or something. I said, a full cover insurance with them. Oh, we don't recognise that. So you go, yeah, I know, but that's what they've sold me. So basically I bought that. I don't need your insurance. Okay. Would you like an upgrade to an automatic hybrid? I said, no thanks, no. I'll do you a good deal. I said, no thanks, no. Okay. Would you like a BMW? I said, no thanks, no. Because you look like a BMW man. And I said, well, I can assure you I'm not. I've never owned or had the desire to own a BMW in my life. I said, I've had everything else, but I've not had a BMW. I've rented a couple along the way, but I've never had a desire to own one. So anyway, so finally you get in the hire car, and what is it? I've got it's a Puma, a Ford Puma. So who's reinvented the wheel? I mean, the steering wheel being a circle was perfect, wasn't it? Perfect shape. It will run through your hands, no problem at all. A wheel is the shape. Not in this car, they make it like a square. So I've got a square steering, what was a wheel but is now a steering square, which is bloody stupid. So you try and drive with that, and it's, this is ridiculous. But then it's got safety systems built in this car, and it keeps telling me how tired I am and I need to take a break. So it does that. It flashes at me all the time. Oh, how does it put it? A driver fatigue. Take a break. Take a break. Then when I ignore it 3 times or something on amber, then it comes up red. You really need to take a break. Driver fatigue, and I ignore it again. Then, for no bloody reason, out of the blue, it suddenly flashes up. A collision alert, makes you shit yourself. You're like, what the fuck? What? And a big red thing flashes in front of your eyes, and there's nothing there. There's nothing in front of the car at all. You go, oh, bloody hell, so you turn it off. So anyway, that's the hire car. But apart from that, it's a nice car. Well, no, it's not actually, because it's got 6 gears, and none of them do anything, really. First gear gets you away. Second gets you moving a little bit more. You have to go into third, but you don't really get a lot of acceleration. Then fourth, then fifth, then sixth. And then if you try and put your foot down in sixth, literally just to get ahead of something, no, that's no good. You've got to drop it to 5. Drop it to 5, that's no good. Drop it to 4. It's crazy, man, crazy. So I really don't like these new engines and how they do these crossovers, you know, madness. Anyway, so that's the hire car. Then we arrive in Bromsgrove, all good, no problem at all. The Travelodge is really nice. It's been modernised and or it's had a bit of an update, whatever they call it, and it's really good. No complaints there at all. The staff are wonderful, look after you well. Extremely happy with that. So I got on the train the next day. I went to Birmingham. Well, good morning, everybody. Back in the UK. I don't know if you can tell. Oh God, it's cold, it's foggy, and I've just arrived at Bromsgrove railway station. I'm going to go to Birmingham for the day. I'll get some pants in Marks and Spencer's to take back with me and have a look round. So yeah, it's horrible dank old day here. Just waiting up, and already the train is slightly delayed. What a surprise. Anyway, I'll catch up with you later when I get to Birmingham. Bye for now. Well, he didn't even stop for me. Git.
Please be aware that fast trains come through this station regularly. For your own safety, when you are on any of the platforms, please ensure you remain behind the yellow line so that you are not near the platform edge. Staff may approach you if you are not in a position of safety. Thank you.
Well, that's interesting, because years ago they used to say at the yellow line, if you stand in front of the yellow line, you may get sucked off. But I think they've changed that now because of all the jokes. Anyway, here we go. Marks and Spencer's, pants department. Job done. While my wife was doing grandmothering things, I went on the train to Birmingham, and I'm in the Bull Ring and all that. So I went into a shop. Now, I really have no problem with employing everybody, all types of people, but I do have a problem when you put them in a role that's not really suitable for them. So I go in this shop, and this guy, he steps out at me. I don't know how you call it these days. We used to call it like backward, but I don't know. Don't hold that against me, please. I don't know what the modern terminology is for that. Slow, I don't know. Anyway, he jumps at me, he says to me, how can I help you? And I said, well, you can't really. Oh, yes, I can, he said. I said, well, I don't think you can. I said, I'm looking for the haberdashery department if you have one. What's that? I said, well, it's a department with knitting needles and wool and cotton and scissors and all that kind of stuff. Oh, no, we haven't got one of those. I said, well, I know you haven't, because I looked on your notice board and I couldn't see one. And that's why I didn't think you could help me. But anyway, thank you anyway. Thank you. And then off I go from there. And this happened 2 or 3 times in different places. I can't believe it. You know, that obviously I understand employing everyone that you possibly can, but please put them in a role that they are suited for. Then when I got on the train later on and I'm coming back, the ticket inspectors wear stab vests now. I mean, all the shops in Birmingham, they all have like their own revenue protection officers or something they call them. Basically, it's a bloke in a uniform who walks around the store or stands by the door. So shoplifting must be bloody rife. It must be off the chart. And then I get on the train, and the guys that are doing the ticket inspecting, there's two of them. They work in pairs, and they're wearing stab vests. And I thought, what's this country coming to? And when I told my son, he said, well, to be fair, Dad, there was a stabbing on the train down in Peterborough, between Peterborough and Huntingdon or something. So I thought, oh, okay, well, there's obviously a need for it to protect people. But, you know, it used to be a man in a nice jacket with a little machine, and he'd come round, ask for your ticket and make a hole in it. But now it's guys in stab vests. Incredible, isn't it? And something else I've noticed while I'm not moaning, I'm not moaning, but I mean, something else I've noticed that I'm here, there's no room for anything. There's no room. Lots of houses are trying to squeeze 3 or 4 cars on their frontage. So as you drive along, there's a car on the pavement outside, which everyone has to slow down for because you can only get one car past. So a huge queue of traffic is made, and then what they're trying to do is they're trying to get 2 or 3 or 4 cars on a front, and you're thinking, God, you know, there's no room for anything. There's no room for anyone to park. There's no room to put all your family's cars on the front garden. No room for waste bins. So these wheelie bins, I've seen houses with 3 or 4 lined up underneath their living room window because there's no room to put them anywhere. And especially if you're a terraced house and you can't get them through the house, they have to sit out the front. So there's no room for the bins. There's no room for cars. There's no room for bins. There's no room to build new houses. There's no room to expand motorways to have extra lanes. There's just no room. And then they're doing roadworks here, and that's a right bloody nightmare. I'm not moaning, am I? No. It's a right bloody nightmare because all the roads are closed, but your Google or your Apple or whatever don't recognise it. So you're driving along and it's road closed. So you have to go around the bloody houses to get anywhere where you want to get to. So yeah, that's that really. The driving about in this hire car with a square wheel, which keeps alerting me that I've got fatigue, and keeps telling me I'm going to hit something when there's nothing there to hit. So anyway, that's that. So I've been to Birmingham. I went down to see my son, and that was a nice day. We went out. We had pizza for lunch, which I was quite surprised about. We went to this restaurant, and what they do is like a special lunch, and you can have like half a pizza and chips or a whole pizza for £10. And we went for that option, which was good. And then I drove back, and again, yeah, the traffic. Oh my God, the traffic is horrendous here, isn't it? I don't know how you cope, guys. You know, going to work every day in traffic like that, it's mad. So I did that. Then I went to Solihull yesterday. There's a shopping centre there, and there's a John Lewis. Thank goodness for John Lewis. I found it, you know, because the one in the Bull Ring in Birmingham closed. So anyway, there is a John Lewis in Solihull, and I really enjoyed my time in there, having a nice wander around, looking at everything that could be new in the world, new tech or stuff that I might have missed. But actually, I haven't missed anything, to be fair. John Lewis is here, much better, but it's just so typical, isn't it? It's full of old farts in the cafeteria because it's a work day, so the only ones who come out are us lot, old codgers having a coffee and a scone. My goodness, look, I'll tell you what I've got. fruit scone and a coffee. Mind you, over £6. I get £6 for a coffee and a scone. I get a whole breakfast in Spain for under 3, or just over 3, under 4, depends where you go, you know. And then I thought I'd have fish and chips for lunch. Lovely. But it was nice, and I got my wife some knitting needles that she's been looking for some time. I'm not sure what they're for, making socks or something. Well, I'm not sure. But they're really small. Anyway, I managed to get those. £45 though. Not for one, like a number of, I think I got about half a dozen sets or something. But yeah, anyway, nice. She's happy with that. So, having visited Britain, I couldn't come here without going to a bowl shop. So basically I come to Pershore, and it's a lovely little place. They've got a workshop in there where they do all the testing of the bowls, rework on them, that kind of thing. And a nice little shop with a very friendly lady. Had a good chat, bought a few bits. But I can't take any liquids with it back with me, so basically, or clothes, because I've travelled light. But yeah, I've come here, lovely little place, lovely people, and now I'm going to head back to Bromsgrove. So look at that though, water tower. There's enough water here. They really don't need to store it because it's pissing down again. Anyway, I'm going to get back now. I'll catch you later. Bye for now. Bye. Now it's my last whole day in the UK. We go back tomorrow, and you can tell I'm running out of things to do. So it's bloody awful weather again. It's grey, it's dank, it's got that fine rain, you know, fine rain, that stuff. It's got fine rain. So I've come to this big garden centre. You can tell it's a popular British pastime because there's a bus here as well that's turned up, and the car park is chocker, absolutely chocker. There's like, they're everywhere. So I'm just walking up the path now. There's a Lakeland, very popular with, you know, people, and this is called Webb's Garden Centre. So Webb's Emporium for toys. This is supposed to be a garden centre. So you've got Lakeland, that used to be like Lakeland Plastics, that do all your gadgetry bits and bobs for your kitchen and household. Got the place for the toys, and I'll turn you around, you can have a look. There's the Lakeland place. This is the toy emporium. This is the main entrance to Webb's. Got the obligatory bags of peat and compost or whatever outside. There's a Cotswold outdoor over there. So I'm going to go in now. The only reason I've come here really is that in the past I remember the garden centres do big scones and a cup of tea. So I'm going to go and have a scone and a cup of tea in what I hope is going to be a decent little restaurant, because you know, people even come to these places for Sunday lunch. Unbelievable, eh? Whew. Anyway, I'm going in now. It's got so bad now, this whole shoplifting thing, that even this garden centre, look, facial recognition and CCTV operation at this site. My God, I can't believe it, how bad it's got over here. Anyway, let's go in and we'll have a look. Oh man, our dog's in. Can hear one. Oh dear. It's just as you'd expect. I've come past all the old Christmas stuff that they're trying to either sell off or whatever. Then walked into another place where they're selling Easter stuff. I'm now standing in the outdoor furniture area, where us Brits, we come along, we buy outdoor furniture, we go use it for like 3 weeks, and then the rest of the time it's under a very expensive cover to keep the rain off. But anyway, we make the most of the summer when we get it. Well, there's a Hobbycraft in here as well. Oh my goodness me, there's everything. Well, this is the thing, I've come into the cafe bit, cafe restaurant. You have to wait to be seated. It's table service. So yeah, I'm sat at my table now waiting. It's heaving in here, heaving. And it's mainly lots of people with grey hair. There's the odd mum, you know, but most of us have grey hair. Yeah. So the waitress has been over. She's taken my order for a black coffee and a scone and jam. £7. £7, and you have to pay at the table before they bring it. No one seems to trust anybody these days, not even a shed load of pensioners or new mums with the kids, with colouring books. So they're all in here. Well, I'm still sat here. It's taking ages just to get me a coffee and a scone. I can't believe how long it's taking. The service is shit. The table I had is wonky, but the good bit of service is I was putting a tissue under the leg to stop it wobbling, and the lady came with a wedge. But no wonder they make you pay in advance. Good God, because otherwise you get up and go. It is that slow, honest. Never seen anything like it in my life. And we've got a couple of people, we've got a couple of big coffee machines. It's incredibly slow, but I think it's coming now. Drown out the noise. Anyway, it's going to the coffee. I'll show you. So going around the food hall bit here. Unbelievable prices, unbelievable products, packaged up. When I say unbelievable, I just mean like you can buy pizza dough and stuff like that, and then all the items are like what I'd say like not popular brand names, very much like the farm shop type thing, and therefore premium prices. But I'm standing here now in front of the olive oil that I do know about, because obviously I've got olive groves at the back of my garden, so I'll just show you some of those. I mean, come on, infused with stuff, that's really not the way to do it, is it? And then the vinegar from Jerez. So again, I know all about that. I visited the factory or the bodegas where they make these. Look at this, look. $6.99 for a soup mix, and literally it's like a bag of lentils. Or there's one here with noodles. Look. Noodles with a bit of spice or something on the top. $6.99. $6.99. Unbelievable, eh? Goodness me. Leek and potato. Look. I don't know what's in it. I guess leek and potato, but gosh, it's all dried, but it's tied with a nice bit of string at the top. So that's adds value, I suppose, doesn't it? Good God, I can't believe it. No wonder people say they got no money. This is to make hot chocolate, okay? So it's basically a lump of chocolate on the end of a stick, and they throw in a few marshmallows. So what you do is you obviously have a hot cup. You literally melt that in hot milk. That's your hot chocolate. Add your thing. So $6.99 was $9.99 for a pack of 3. Well, I can't believe it. I've just come out of the food hall and standing outside, there's another one of these revenue protection guys, you know. Unbelievable. I just, it must be so bad here now with shoplifting that everyone seems to employ these people, but I don't know. All a bit off really. So now I'm in the outdoor furniture bit again of this place, and there's some lovely furniture and stuff, but it reminded me when I was speaking yesterday about there's no room for anything anymore, there's just no space. And I'm looking at a piece of furniture here, hold on. Here, look, right, there's a couple of armchairs, there's a sofa, but in total you've got what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17 cushions here. 17 cushions. So what are you going to do with them in the winter? What do people do? They stick them in bags, stick them in a loft, stick them in the shed. What do you do with them? And modern housing, there's just no space for stuff like this. So you spend a lot of money, and this is over 2,000 quid, and then you've got to try and protect it and make it last as long as you can, as many years as you can, because of what you spent on it. You know, even this one here. Yeah. Crikey. And I know it's like in Spain when we have to put stuff away for a bit, but anyway, I'm not moaning, honestly. I'm not. And again, on the subject of no space and storage, you buy all this stuff, or people obviously buy all this stuff for Christmas, then they have to store this as well. So you're storing your garden furniture, cushions, you're storing all your Christmas stuff. There's just no room. No room for anything. Incredible. I can't believe how much stuff there is for Christmas. Amazing. So I'm back in the car. It's almost 12 o'clock on the Friday. Go home tomorrow. I've just been, as I say, to this garden centre, and one of the big impressions I get from the whole of my visit with the shops and everything now is there must be people stealing left, right and centre, because the security measures are, talk about over the top. I mean, you know, this is Britain, this is my home country, you know, and I'm shocked and amazed at how much security there is now. I've just been in a shop for this, all garments and things. Everything's padlocked onto hangers. The guy just told me that often they go around and someone's been in and cut everything off and taken stuff, and they find the locks on the floor. There's facial recognition going into the garden centre. There's a guy standing inside, just the one I saw, but maybe there's more. It's quite incredible. So I'm really not sure what's going on, but whatever people tell me now, I kind of believe it, because I was told that people were just going into shops wholesale and walking off with stuff and no one could do anything about it, and now I believe it. So yeah, that's my takeaway really. Very sad indeed. Well, I was sat in a bus shelter at Bromsgrove railway station because it's raining again. But, and having had a week here, it's become very clear to me, because I watch on the news obviously and I hear about energy prices going up, how people can't afford stuff, and what I've recognised is that in Britain now it's very divided. There are people who go to garden centres who spend £7 on coffee and a scone, or a lot of money on a loaf of sourdough bread or something. They have personalised number plates on their cars. They have the number plates changed to something that's illegal, or at least I think it's illegal. They spend money on stuff that's all about show. I think it's stopped now, I can get a move on. and they've got a real surplus of cash, and they like to show it. And then there are people who, I mean, apart from all the homeless and everything I've seen in Birmingham, but and not immigrants, I might add. These are just what appear to be British people, but it's very much a country divided, it seems. So the security in the shops is incredible because of all the nicking. For those of you who are British, thieving. Yeah, it's just really weird, you know, because a lot of the cars here, I mean, I'm at the station now, I'm looking in the car park, there's Audis, Range Rovers, these are all top end kind of cars. People obviously have the money to get those, or have they? Are they getting them on leases in order to show that they can afford, I don't know, one of these expensive cars? It's really hard to tell, actually. So all the moaning and complaining I hear about the cost of living in Britain, and I've seen it myself, you do wonder though. Ready meals, all the deliveries as well, Uber Eats and all that lot, Just Eat, everything. It costs a fortune to have a Chinese delivered. It's like 40 quid or 50 quid. Well, I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? You know, you get in from work, I don't fancy cooking, let's have a Chinese, order it in from Uber Eats, and it costs you 40 or 50 quid. I remember coming home from the pub, stopping off at the Chinky and getting like a chow mein or something, and it was a couple of quid, or a kebab. God knows what they're charging now. Anyway, so yeah, a big takeaway for me is how the country really seems to be divided big time. I just walked past the drain cover and I noticed the British Standard kite mark on it. Who remembers that, eh? Who remembers? And then there's the BS number on it, along with the European number. But yeah, the British Standard kite mark. There you go, there's a memory. Oh, anyway, overall, I've had a lovely time. I've done a lot of stuff, got a lot of jobs done that I need to get done. And we're back home tomorrow. So, yeah, it's been good. I have done a bit of moaning, I know, but it's because I'm disappointed. You know, I am English. I was born in England. And when you come back and you see what's happening, it's like a bit sad, really. So anyway, yeah, I'm not moaning. I know it rains all the time anyway, so I didn't moan about the rain, did I? But so I'm back in the room now because I can't be bothered to go anywhere else, watching a bit of Judge Judy, interrupted by adverts about funerals, direct cremations, have you got enough money when you die, spare your family, and all that stuff, obviously aimed at the older audience in the afternoon. So anyway, I'm going to catch up with you when I get back to Spain now, I think, unless something dramatic happens in the meantime at the airport, but we'll see. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. I'll catch up with you soon. Bye for now. Bye.